Yeah.
I didn't put the schmear on there. It's called a schmear.
What kind of word is a schmear?
It's a schmear.
It's a schmear. Do you know what it sounds like?
What?
Like, whatever.
I know what it sounds like. It's called a schmear.
Okay.
Just look at this piece of dough.
Hey everybody, look what it is. It's Danish. You've only asked for it for 3 whole months, and right now the Crumb Boss is going to show you how to make it.
Hey everybody, Crumb Boss here.
Hi, Crumb Boss.
Hi. We are going to show you how to make a style of Danish dough, not an actual Danish dough.
Well, I want Danish.
This is going to be a wonderful Danish. I cannot show you a laminated dough on a YouTube video. It would be against my religion.
What is your religion?
It's the Culinary Institute of America religion of pastry school, and I could not go ahead and do that on a YouTube video. So I have created a version of a Danish dough that is not the intensive, labor-intensive rolling in the butter, laminating, folding that takes 3 days to make Danish dough. We're not going to do it like that. We're going to make a quick dough that is going to be wonderful for you guys to pass off as Danish.
Now, let me ask you a question. Down here, I'm looking at Danishes.
Yes.
And these are...
Those are our mini version Danishes. That's not our full-size Danish that we sell in the store. Those are called miniature Danishes because you see they're just a couple bites.
They're just a couple bites, but what kind of Danish is this?
Lemon, cherry, and blueberry there.
Okay, lemon, cherry, and blueberry.
In this video, this is maybe a 2 or 3 part video, guys. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to first show you how to make the Danish dough, and then we're going to come back and show you how to fill and cut and form and roll out the Danish, and then if we have time in that second video, we're going to show you how to finish them too.
Okay, so what do you got here?
We're going to make the dough. I've made my doughs in a food processor before. I can't remember which video we used, but I like to use the food processor for making some types of dough because I find that when you have to cut in the butter rather than cream the butter.
That's not lard, that's butter.
This is butter, that's right. The food processor works a lot nicer because it doesn't create a lot of friction and it's not creaming your butter, it's just going to keep it cold and cut it in.
Okay.
Which is what we're looking for. So in the mixer, we're going to put our flour, the diced butter. You see how I diced it up into little pieces?
What does dicing mean?
Just it's a form of a cut. It's a style of cutting in culinary.
Okay.
So I've diced it into little cubes. I have some salt and some nutmeg that I'm putting in this recipe, and a little bit of baking powder just to help it jump.
Okay, so again, we're making Danish dough, okay? And these are miniature Danishes down here. Oh, sugar. Okay,
yeah,
we forgot that.
I got the sugar in here too. So you want to pour that. Everything goes into your food processor.
Okay.
All right.
So again, we're making Danishes right down here. These are miniature Danishes. We're making the dough, right, Crumb Boss?
Yes, Danish dough.
Danish dough.
You have to come back for the second video on how to finish it.
How to finish it. Okay.
Yeah. So you see in the food processor, I'm just pulsing it to kind of get it all mixed in together. I don't want to let it just spin and spin because then you are going to create friction and your butter is going to start to melt.
Okay, and then you don't want that.
That's right.
And then what are you going to do? Roll it out?
See, that's the thing about this dough. You're going to have to, see that I've got it all incorporated. There's no big chunks of butter.
Yes.
All right?
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that happens. And then what we're going to add to it is the liquid ingredients. Now, I've used milk that I've put fresh yeast into. I'm going to give you guys both the recipes for fresh yeast and dry yeast because I don't know what you have available to you. So I've used fresh yeast because that's what we use here at the bakery.
Okay.
I've proofed it, dissolved it into my milk.
What's proofing?
To prove, it's like proving that the yeast works. So you want to either sprinkle your dry yeast over your milk or add your fresh yeast to your milk and it'll start to bubble up. That means that because yeast is a live organism and it starts to feed on the sugars in the milk.
Is it like my probiotics I take?
Exactly. It is. It is. So the yeast will start to bubble and you know that it's working. That means just proofing your yeast. You prove that it's alive for 5 minutes. That's all.
Okay.
So I'm going to start pouring that into the feed tube of the processor while I have it spinning.
Okay.
And then I have the eggs also.
And you do them one at a time.
Yeah, well, you can kind of just let it go. Now you're going to let it spin around, and it's going to start to create a dough, and that's exactly what we want.
Okay.
See that? All that dry stuff turned into that.
Nice.
All right. So what you need to do, though, is let this sit overnight.
Okay.
or for at least half a day. So if you make this early in the morning,
yeah,
you want to let it sit for about 8 to 12 hours, I'd say.
Okay.
And I'm spraying my pan with some pan spray, or lightly grease it with butter or shortening. And I'm just turning out.
Shortening's not lard, right?
No, it's not lard.
Can we do an episode on what's the difference between butter, shortening, and lard?
Sure.
Okay.
We pretty much do that in every episode because we always talk about it.
I know, but some people don't get what it is. I still don't get what it is.
Do you see how sticky this dough is?
Yes.
That's another reason why you need to let it sit for a long time. All right, so I just leave it in my pan.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's using her hands. Her hands are her best tools.
Because I don't have a sink right here.
Yeah, okay. Her hands are her best tools. Again, we're making Danish dough. These are miniature Danishes down here. You've all asked for it. You've all been complaining for months. Well, you've all been asking for it. Whoops. For months, how to make Danish dough. And finally...
How do you really feel, Steph?
Well, I'm just saying, Gretchen. Well, okay, how to make Danish dough. And basically... this is the Crumb Boss showing you how to do it. All right?
So here you have it. I've turned it out into my pan. I covered it with plastic wrap. I'm going to keep that in the refrigerator. I do it the day before so I can use it the next day, but at least do it for half a day.
Okay.
Now the other thing that you're going to have to mix, I'm going to have both recipes on the blog on crumbboss.com.
Yes.
This is the Danish spread. This is basically a mixture of butter and cinnamon and brown sugar. That's all it is. Well, can you see in here the that darker part?
Oh, I've always wondered how they got that.
Okay, that's a spread. It's a brown sugar and cinnamon spread.
Oh, cool.
So when we go and roll the dough out in the next video, I'm going to show you how to use this. So for right now, guys, prepare your two recipes. Do your Danish dough recipe, let it sit overnight. Also do your cinnamon spread, your butter and your brown sugar and your cinnamon. And then we'll be prepared to go to video number 2 to show you how to roll out the dough and form the Danishes.
Wait, so how do you make that?
You just put all 3 ingredients in the mixer bowl and cream it together until it's real light and fluffy like this. It's just butter and cinnamon and brown sugar.
Okay, cool. Like the cinnamon challenge.
Not so much like that.
Okay, so again, making Danish dough, you have to stay tuned for part 2, how to learn how to roll out the dough and fill it with the cinnamon spread.
That's right.
I got that.
You do got it.
Go ahead.
All right, everybody, stay tuned for part 2. Crumb Boss.
Crumb Boss, what do you got in your hand?
Hey, everybody, Crumb Boss here. I got my French rolling pin right here.
Is it from France?
Yeah, this is a French-style rolling pin. Somebody thought that I broke the furniture to my kitchen chair and started using it as a rolling pin here. Seriously, that was the question that they asked me.
Are you serious?
Like, Gretchen, did you just take apart your kitchen chair and that's what you're using? No, this is a French-style rolling pin. It's tapered. It doesn't have the pins in it, the other kind, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, I prefer this.
Like when you eat corn on the cob.
That's right. It's not that kind.
And it doesn't have the thing on the end.
Right.
Okay. I don't eat corn on the cob anyway.
We're going to make Danish dough today. Well, no, we just made Danish dough.
Okay.
We're going to show you how to form the Danish dough that we just made. So you guys, if you want to check out the first video that we made on how to mix Danish dough, you're going to need to do that first.
All right.
And as you saw, I put it into a pan. I let it sit overnight in the refrigerator, and this is what I have.
Okay, so this is the Danish dough.
Yeah, oh, it's nice.
Okay. And again, we're going to show you how to roll out the Danish dough, correct?
Yep, do you smell it? You smell the yeast? I love dough. I love working with dough.
You know what kind of dough I like? What? I like this kind of dough, okay? This kind of dough. That's my dough, okay? You like that dough, and I like this dough. Other than that, there's no dough to me.
I'm hoping this dough turns into that dough.
Well, this dough better turn into this dough because ain't going to be no dough left in the... All right, stop it.
All right, let's go. So you saw that I took it out of my pan that I left overnight from yesterday.
Okay.
And now I'm just going to roll this.
Yeah.
I want to try and keep it into like a triangle shape, you know. That's why when I pushed it into the pan, I tried to push it into the pan sort of keeping it in a square or a rectangle shape, because what you start with is what you end up with. So if you just throw it in there and it's like in a blob, you're going to have a blob when you take it out.
Okay.
So,
ladies and gentlemen, she's using her hands as her tools because her hands are your best tools.
Now remember, I said this is not your traditional laminated Danish dough. That takes a couple days. It's basically an art form. I'm not going to get into teaching that on YouTube, but this is a comparable Danish dough recipe that you guys could use to make fruit Danish, cheese Danishes, whatever you guys want to use. So you see how I've rolled that out? Mm-hmm. All right. Now remember I told you to mix your Danish spread, right? The cinnamon And the, oh, you know what I'm going to do? Just cut off a little piece. I'll show you why at the end.
Okay.
This was the brown sugar, the butter, and the cinnamon mixture. All right, so I'm just putting this, spreading this evenly over my whole portion of dough. You don't want to put on too much. It's really just supposed to be a thin schmear of it.
What's a schmear?
It's what I'm doing now. I'm schmearing it.
Is that a real word?
It is a real word.
Okay.
Yep.
Schmear?
Right. Yeah. All right, so now you take this. This is probably about 9. This is probably about 9 by 9.
Okay.
All right, and now I've got my little pizza cutter here.
Yeah.
You're going to cut strips. What we're making first is called a snail. The snail Danish style is what you'll see filled with cherry, lemon, blueberry, like that.
Okay.
That's called a snail Danish variety.
And you're cutting them into what, 1-inch strips?
Yeah, pretty much 1-inch strips. Like I said, I rolled my dough to about 9 by 9.
Okay.
I took off a little piece over here because I want to show you how to make the cheese pockets too, that a lot of you will be interested in. But for right now, I'm going to start with this one. What I do after I cut these strips, I like to cut just a little kind of notch down the middle. That's going to help when we roll it. This is how you roll a snail. You basically just twist both ends like that. Almost looks like a swizzle stick, right?
A swizzle stick.
Okay, and now I'm going to roll it.
It looks like a pretzel.
Yeah,
I
like
don't know
a pretzel.
Like a swetzel.
Swetzel.
A swetzel. It's a swetzel, Gretchen.
Ooh, there's my snail.
So there's your snail.
Now let's do it again.
No, you said it's
one?
a swizzle stick.
Well, because it kind of looks like that to me.
All right.
So you start out with your dough like that. Cut in the middle because that's going to help you turn it like that.
All right.
And you take both ends, and I'm kind of just going opposite, right?
Yeah.
And it just makes it kind of roll up like that. I don't know. It looked like a swizzle stick to me. I don't know what it looks like to you.
But what's a swizzle stick?
I don't know. What's a swizzle stick? So now look, I'm holding down the center part while I'm wrapping the rest around, and that's called a snail-style Danish.
Okay.
Okay, I'm putting them over to my parchment-lined sheet pan.
Yes.
And I can continue to do that like so. So here, you know, Danish is a long process. First you have to make the dough, then you have to form all the different, you know, if you're doing snail variety or if you're doing pocket versions, there's all different kinds that you can make. So there's some of the snails.
Now, how many Danishes do you sell here daily at Woodland Bakery?
We sell dozens a day. Yeah, dozens of Danish a day. We do lemon, cherry, blueberry, pecan. We do prune, cheese, apricot, almond, like you name it, we do it.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to do the cheese and the fruited ones, though. So here's my other portion of dough.
Which are those over there?
Yeah, right.
Let me get them.
Want to grab them? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that, and then hold on. Oh, there. Okay. So now we're gonna show you how to make the inside.
Yes. Well, no, not so much the inside.
The outside.
Do you see how this raw dough
Yes.
is going to end up looking like that after we've filled them? So this is the raw dough portion of it.
All right. So
And I'm just showing you different varieties. Now over here is what's called a pocket variety because it's closed. It has a filling inside almost like a pocket. So that's the two different styles that I'm going to show you how to make. So the other portion of dough that I cut off before and put to the side right here, I didn't put the schmear on there. It's called a schmear.
what kind of word is a schmear?
It's a schmear.
It's a schmear. Do you know what it sounds like? Like whatever.
I know what it sounds like. It's called a schmear.
Okay.
Just look at this piece of dough.
All right, it's a piece of dough. Or do you want to look at this dough? That's good dough.
Separated out this piece of dough.
Okay.
I didn't put the cinnamon schmear on there because I want to show you how to make the pocket variety. I'm just going to trim off the ends of the dough here because I want them to be perfectly square.
Okay.
You can then go ahead and take this scrap, don't throw it away, and roll it into your snails later on. You don't want to really waste anything.
Schmears and snails.
Schmears and snails.
Smears and snails and making Danish with the Crumb Boss.
That's right. Now look, I cut these squares into, I'm going to say this is probably 2 to 3 inch squares.
Okay.
I have some cheese filling here, which I will also share with you on the blog, but I'm not going to show you how to mix it because it's just very simple.
Oh, but please, Crumb Boss, you have to share. You have to share. That's what you do.
Recipe,
you share everything.
Show you how to mix
you share everything with us on YouTube.
I'll tell you how to mix it
all right, sounds good.
All right.
Go ahead.
So look, I'm just putting a little ball. This is like the cake pop scooper.
Yep, that's 100 scooper right there.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
All right, so then what you're going to do to form the pocket is you take the two ends
Yes.
and push them into the middle. Now sometimes we sell them just like this and we call them diamond cheese.
Okay.
Because it looks like a diamond. But then we'll fold them the rest of the way and make the pocket cheese.
Okay.
Alright, so there you have that.
So Danishes come from, where do they come from?
What did we say? Denmark? Like
Denmark.
It's Swedish. Like, I read the history of it. They want to give...
I thought it was Dutch. Where's Dutch people live?
In Holland.
I went to Holland. I went to Amsterdam.
But they want to attribute the Danish, the art form of the Danish, to the Danes, because they're the ones who mastered it, and they really...
The Danes.
The Danish people.
The Danish people. Danish people and Dutch people, are they the same?
I don't think so.
Oh, no. So wait, Danish are from Denmark, Dutch are from Amsterdam. Holland.
As far as I'm concerned, everybody's from New Jersey. All right.
Exactly. Go ahead.
I'm going to do one more snail.
Okay, yeah, because we're at 8:25.
Okay, don't worry. I'm going to just do one more snail, and then I'm going to show you how to fill the fruit. In the meantime, I want to show you guys, this is the last video on Danish. You are going to need to proof these.
Yes.
If anybody knows anything about yeast doughs, you have to proof this dough. It's
Okay.
going to have to, in a warm place, to double in size. It's going to get very, airy and spongy before you bake it.
Why don't we fill them on a different video, because we're running out of time.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys, this is how you make, snail swizzles and Danish from Denmark. Pockets. And this is how you make, we're going to show you now on the third video how to fill them with different types of fillings that the Crumb Boss has made. You know what's interesting though? I have to say something. It looks kind of messy, your table. Why is that? I wasn't on it.
When you make Danish, it does get messy.
Yeah, so I should make Danish.
Normally we work on a wood table with Danish
Okay.
because it's easier with the flour and all that.
Okay, so Crumb Boss. We are on the part 3 of how to make Danish with the Crumb Boss. She showed you how to make the dough. Then she showed you how to smear the cinnamon schmear in it.
Smear it.
And then she showed you how to smear it. All right, so why don't you just talk?
Hey, everybody, Crumb Boss here. We smeared it.
Yeah, we smeared it. Yeah.
Part 3 on Danish dough. First, we showed you how to mix the dough. I didn't show you how to mix the schmear, but it's so simple. I got the ingredients for you on the blog.
Okay.
And then we formed the Danish, which was right here. We did 2 different varieties. This is the snail variety, and this is the pocket variety, which I filled with cheese. Here's another one.
Okay, there we go.
All right. So basically, once you've got this part of it down,
yes,
what you want to do is these are the ones that get filled with the fruit filling, or you could just top them straight away with some walnuts or pecans or whatever. But you see how I'm making the indentation right in the middle?
Yes.
Because that's what's going to be like the well that holds our fruit filling in.
Okay.
All right. So I just
now these Danishes, they sell for what, like a couple $100?
Yeah, in my dreams.
Yeah,
now,
in your
these
dreams.
are miniature style Danishes, like you see on the plate right there. This is like 1/3, it's 1/4 of the size of the real Danishes that we
yes.
sell.
Okay.
So right here I have some apple filling, which we make, and if you guys go to my apple pie video, you're gonna make your own filling, or you could buy it in a can.
Okay.
So I'm gonna.
But it's better that you use the Crumb Boss recipes because, like many of us have found out, it just tastes better.
It does taste better. Right here, though, this is cherry filling in a can. We buy that.
Okay.
You want to talk about going into business, owning a bakery, you have to figure out what's going to be the most cost-effective to keep you in business.
Just buy your book.
Check out my book, Crumb Boss Guide to Owning a Bakery, and you'll find some good tips
Exactly.
and tricks. All right, so we have cherry. I've got some blueberry. Blueberry we also buy. The only filling that we make is the apple, the cheese, the almond. We buy the fruit fillings.
Okay.
What other? Let's do more apple. Let's do more cherry. I like cherry. That's my favorite Danish.
You do?
Yeah.
I probably like the blueberry.
Yeah. Oh, there's
I like blueberry. I said blueberry, cherry. Okay, so now you have them filled.
That we have them filled.
And you put cheese in that one.
Yeah, remember in the last video we filled these pocket ones with some cheese, which I said I'll share the recipe with you, but I didn't show you how to mix it, but it's real easy. Anytime you're making a yeast dough, you want to proof the dough, and that means leave it in a warm spot. An ideal spot is a proof box like we have over here. This is the proof box.
Now that was the box on the Oscar episode where I came out and I was dressed like a chicken.
Right.
Yes.
This is our proof box. We have a rack in here, and every morning we load it up with all the Danishes. This box gets to about 90 degrees. It's very humid inside, so it's almost like a sauna. for Danishes.
Okay.
It's going to get the yeast really going because yeast loves to be warm and it loves to feed on sugar. So once that yeast starts going in that warm spot, your Danishes are going to start to get puffy. They're going to get just basically really puffy. You're going to want to let these sit in that type of environment. If you could recreate that somehow, that's the best. Mostly when I make Danishes at home, though, I'll just put them in the oven. Like, I'll put the oven on maybe 100 degrees just to get it really warm. Shut the oven down, pop my Danishes in there, and just, like, spray some water just to recreate that environment because I don't have a proof box at my house.
Okay.
So you're going to go ahead and do that. Let them proof for about 30 to 40 minutes. You'll see they'll start to get real puffy. And then you're going to take them out, and you're going to brush them with some egg wash. This is just an egg that I've beaten and added a little bit of water to it to make it thinner. See how I'm doing that?
Yes.
And then, as soon as they came out of the proof box and you brush them with egg, you're going to pop them into your oven. 350 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then you have yourself some Danishes. Hot out of the oven, let them cool a little bit, and pour some of that white icing, the fondant.
Oh, it's fun with fondant.
Yeah, but that's poured fondant, not the rolled fondant.
Okay.
Alright, and that's really about it. That's how we make Danishes, guys.
Okay, so that's how you make the Danish with the Crumb Boss. She finally did it. You have requested it for months, and of course she's answered. That's what we do on Crumb Boss TV. If you ask for it, we deliver.
That's
well,
right.
actually, she does.
That's right.
So there you go.
Use this opportunity to make Danishes for our Crumb Boss contest. Just have somebody film you doing this. If you can pull it off under 10 minutes and title it Crumb Boss Contest, if you get the most views, no, not the most views,
okay,
if you get the most
I'm
likes.
going to get the, I'll explain the contest
right.
since we've totally lost track of how many videos it's in. Gretchen.
That's all right, you're going to let them all. We've got 30 days to do this contest,
Okay,
everybody.
it's 30 days. It goes from March 3rd to April 3rd. Okay, you have to title your video Crumb Boss contest, okay? And you have to, somebody has to play the crumb. Go, you explain that part, and I'll explain the
You guys have to demonstrate anything of your choice, whatever recipe you want to show from start to finish. How to mix it, you want to talk about it and explain it, just like I do. Somebody has to play Steph, the producer, and film you doing it, and I want to see the finished product. If you can pull it off in under 10 minutes, load it up, title it Crumb Boss Contest, and whoever gets the most likes in the next 30 days.
Likes and comments in 30 days will win, and what are they going to win?
They're going to win a Crumb Boss cake decorating kit, a t-shirt, and a signed copy of my book.
Exactly.
Alright, get it going, everybody. Let's see what you got.
What do you got?
Crumb Boss.